In this new lesson of our Electronics Applied to Refrigeration and Air Conditioning course, we will study how to find a fault in an air conditioner electronic control board in 5 steps. Before starting to inspect an electronic control board, it is recommended to first check the electrical connections, the cleanliness of the indoor and outdoor units, and the condition of the temperature sensors. In many cases, the fault may be associated with dirt, corroded connections, or defective sensors. If after these checks you still have not found the fault and wish to inspect the electronic control board, carefully follow the steps below. Inspection 1. High voltage electrolytic capacitor. The electrolytic capacitor in an inverter control board stores and stabilizes high voltage electrical energy. Its main function is to filter the DC voltage, reduce fluctuations, and provide stable power to the inverter module and compressor. To test it, completely disconnect the equipment from the power supply and wait at least 5 minutes to allow partial discharge of the capacitors. Then perform a complete visual inspection of the entire electronic board, looking for cold solder joints, overheated components, burned traces, corroded terminals, or any abnormal condition on the electronic board. Next, discharge the electrolytic capacitors using a suitable resistor as a safety measure. Using a multimeter set to the microfarad scale, measure the capacitance of the capacitor and compare the result with the value specified on its label. If the capacitance is below the specified value, the electrolytic capacitor must be replaced. Remember that the link to access our complete Electronics Applied to Refrigeration and Air Conditioning course is available in the description of this video. Inspection 2. PTC thermistor and start relay. The PTC thermistor, or current limiter, in an inverter board reduces the inrush current when the equipment is powered on, protecting the rectifier bridge and the high-voltage capacitors. After a few seconds, the start relay bypasses the PTC thermistor to allow normal current flow to the inverter board. This system prevents current surges and protects the power electronics. To perform the diagnosis, set the multimeter to the resistance scale and measure the terminals of the PTC thermistor. This component is usually black or green in color, shaped of a thick disc or a small box, and is typically located near the large filters and rectifier bridges. The PTC thermistor should exhibit a low resistance, generally between 10 and 47 ohms at room temperature. If the multimeter indicates infinite reading, it means that the PTC thermistor is open and must be replaced. If the PTC thermistor is found burned, it is recommended to also replace the pre-charge or start relay, since a defective relay that fails to close its contacts on time forces the PTC thermistor to carry the entire board current until it eventually cracks or burns due to excessive heat. Next, inspect the pre-charge or start relay. Measure continuity across its normally open power terminals. With the board powered off, the relay should indicate an open circuit. If the multimeter shows continuity or a value close to 0 ohms with the board powered off, it means that the relay contacts have become stuck or welded internally. If the PTC thermistor overheats excessively, it is possible that the relay is not disconnecting the current. As a result, the PTC thermistor remains energized and overheats. In this case, the relay must be replaced. Inspection 3. PFC coil or reactor. The PFC coil or reactor in an inverter board helps correct the power factor and reduce current spikes in the electrical supply. Its function is to stabilize the DC bus voltage, improve energy efficiency, and protect components such as the IPM, rectifier bridge, and high-voltage capacitors. If the equipment has an external PFC reactor or coil, disconnect it from the electronic board and measure its electrical resistance using a multimeter set to the ohm scale. The resistance should be very low, but it should never indicate an infinite reading. An infinite reading may indicate an open or damaged coil.
It is important to mention that some small inverter mini-split systems, especially 9,000 BTU per H and 12,000 BTU per H units, eliminate the large reactor to save cost and space, relying only on capacitor banks and basic electronic filters integrated directly into the electronic board. Remember that the link to access our complete Electronics Applied to Refrigeration and Air Conditioning course is available in the description of this video. Inspection 4. PFC Integrated Module. The PFC integrated module in an inverter air conditioner electronic board controls power factor correction and boosts the DC bus voltage in a stable and efficient manner. Its function is to reduce reactive power consumption, improve energy efficiency, and supply a stable DC voltage to the inverter module and compressor. It also helps reduce current spikes and protect the power electronics. To test the PFC module integrated circuit, carefully follow the steps below. Before performing the tests, it is necessary to correctly identify the main terminals of the PFC module. R and S pins, AC input terminals coming from the power supply. PR pin, positive output of the internal rectifier. NR pin, negative line of the internal rectifier. L pin, connection to the external PFC coil or reactor. P pin, final positive voltage output to the inverter circuit. With the board completely de-energized, set the multimeter to diode test mode. It is essential to correctly identify the terminal arrangement using the markings printed on the top of the module or by consulting the manufacturer's datasheet to determine the specific function of each pin. For this procedure, the FPAB30BH60 module is used as an example since it is widely used in modern inverter electronic boards. High-speed boost diode test. This test verifies whether the internal fast recovery diode correctly delivers boosted current to the main DC bus capacitor bank. Step A. Place the black multimeter probe on pin P and the red probe on pin L. Correct reading, the multimeter should display a voltage drop between approximately 0.3 and 0.5 volts. Step B. Place the red probe on pin P and the black probe on pin L. Correct reading, the multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no continuity. Input rectifier bridge test. This test verifies the 4 internal junctions responsible for converting AC current into DC current. Step A. Place the red probe on pin NR and touch pins R and S one at a time. Correct reading, the multimeter should display a diode voltage drop of approximately 0.4 to 0.6 volts. Step B. Reverse the probes by placing the red probe on pin PR and the black probe on pins R and S. Correct reading, a similar voltage drop of 0.4 to 0.6 volts should be obtained. Step C. Reverse the probes again for the same measurements performed above. Correct reading, the multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no continuity. Booster IGBT transistor test. Step A. Place the red probe on pin NR and touch pin L with the black probe. Correct reading, this measurement checks the internal protection diode of the IGBT transistor. The multimeter should display a voltage drop between 0.4 and 0.6 volts. Step B. Reverse the probes by placing the black probe on pin NR and the red probe on pin L. Correct reading, the multimeter should indicate an open circuit or no continuity. Remember that the link to access our complete Electronics Applied to Refrigeration and Air Conditioning course is available in the description of this video. Inspection 5. IPM Integrated Module. The IPM integrated module in an inverter board controls and switches the three-phase electrical power supplied to the inverter compressor. Its function is to regulate compressor speed, frequency, and power through internal power transistors. It also incorporates protection against overcurrent, overheating, short circuits, and undervoltage to protect both the electronic board and the compressor. Before starting the diagnosis of the IPM module, verify that the heatsink is properly installed and firmly attached to the module, since poor heat dissipation can cause overheating and internal damage to the IPM. Next, identify the model number or reference of the IPM module and search for it online or consult the manufacturer's datasheet to correctly identify the function of each terminal or pin. With the multimeter set to diode test mode, perform the following measurements. Place the black negative multimeter probe on the positive supply terminal of the IPM. Place the red probe on terminals U, V, and W. Correct reading. The measurements obtained on each terminal should be similar or practically identical. Next, perform the test again by placing the red probe on the negative supply terminal of the IPM and the black probe on terminals U, V, and W. Correct reading. As in the previous test, all measurements should show similar values.